Louisiana Beer Reviews, Country Club Malt Liquor, bottled version. Okay, introduced in 1951, this was the first mass-produced American malt liquor, in other words, extra strong beer. The theory is that they didn't, or they couldn't call it beer, so they invented the name malt liquor, which meant extra strong beer. It's odd though, because if you look at the very early 1950s ads of Country Club from Getz Brewing of St. Joseph, Missouri, and I bought this at Flair Beverages, by the way. They had huge cases of this stuff. You could buy it by the case, boxes full of it. I just bought one bottle down in the box, so it shouldn't be skunked. But if you look at those early ads, it says Country Club beer at the bottom of the ad. It says malt liquor, but it says beer. The later ads in the 60s and 70s say that it wasn't beer, that it was a cousin of beer, but that it gives you more of what you're looking for in a malt liquor. They don't really say what that means, but they say on the old ads, drink it and you'll see what we're talking about. In other words, they meant because it gives you more alcohol, but they could not reference that in the old ads. It's golden straw, pretty much 100% clear, the slightest bit of little sediment chunks, some bubble streams. They said on the old ads that it didn't give a lot of foam, the carbonation was low, and that it was brewed to be light-bodied and not to give a lot of carbonation to bloat people. It smells like beer, you know, corn, barley. Maybe they use a little rice almost. It has that aroma. It's not any wanky or off flavors, and I always did think Country Club was one of the better malt liquors. Here comes the air conditioner. There's a can. I saw these cans. I saw the tall cans, you know, the 16 ounce, 40 ounce bottles. Don't recall seeing 22 ounce bottles, but I may have, because I did see 22 ounce bottles of other malt liquors all over New York, like Colt 45, St. Ives, High Gravity. Don't believe I saw the Country Club bomber bottles. I've never seen the 12 ounce bottles. They may be produced, but in all my years I've not run across it. The 40s, the 16 cans and the 12 ounce cans. I've never seen it sold in Louisiana, ever. As you would imagine, Beer Advocate and Rate Beer are saying, no, Beer Advocate says poor, Rate Beer is saying 1 out of 100. Essentially one of the worst products on the planet, beer-based products. It's not bad, it's enjoyable. The flavor is has some boldness, but it's not super bold. It's a little bit sweet, not overly sweet. You get the barley malt, probably corn, syrup. I don't know if it's any rice, but not so much in the flavor. Don't know what kind of hops they use, probably just hop extract. The mouth feels light to medium. It is pretty crisp, clean, refreshing, easy drinking. It does kind of go along with what they were saying on the ads, that the carbonation isn't too heavy. It's not like rapid bubble streams. There are a few stray bubbles. You don't get a big head. It's just designed that way. It was showing pictures of it in the glass with minimal lacing and foam. When Country Club first debuted in 1951, and like I said, it was Getz Brewing, and then it was bought out by Pearl Brewing, I believe around 1970. Could have been late 60s. Then it was acquired by Pabst, maybe around later in the 70s when they acquired Pearl Brewing. But it was marketed toward white upper middle class drinkers, okay? It said the old ads say the new party brew, and they show well-heeled people drinking the beers at country club functions, Christmas parties, various occasions. That was always the targeted group. Later in the early to mid 70s, early 70s, I guess, Anheuser-Busch did a market study. They found out that the strongest segment of the malt liquor audience was the black Americans. So you noticed a pretty rapid change with all the companies from white upper middle class trying to make it like more of a gourmet beer like Michelob, something like that, or Lowenbrau, to like people say ghetto beer, you know, but which is an unfair characterization, but they did start to market Country Club and Budweiser malt liquor, Miller malt liquor, Old English, and etc., Mickey's, etc., to the to black audiences. And there's you can't find it on YouTube. For some reason, it's been removed. It was on YouTube early on, but it's a two-part video. It's about 20 minutes long, maybe longer. It's a fairly famous actor back from the 70s, can't remember his name, hosting the video. It was an in-house video. It's produced by Anheuser-Busch, obviously for their distributors. Just like they produced that Flintstones, Hanna-Barbera Flintstones video for their an in-house video, interesting, from the early 60s. But this is from 1973, and they're riding on a train, and it's a pretty detailed discussion of why they were going to change their marketing towards generally black Americans, and young people too, but like early 20s. But they were saying that they didn't know why, but they said for whatever reason it's popular with black Americans. They said probably because they realized it was a value, you get more bang for your buck. And so it goes into detail about how they were going to really make a push with at the time Budweiser malt liquor in the black segment, and then that was retired. And my theory is they may have just changed the name, but whatever the case, in 1984 they came out with the King Cobra malt liquor. They had a lot of television and radio ads for that for years, and that became a big hit. It's still around today, the King Cobra malt liquor. And when it originally arrived in '84, it had the Michelob shape bottle and the shroud, paper shroud. I'm sure that would be a collector's item today. Well, back to Country Club, the original mass-produced malt liquor. Believe me, it's not bad. It's enjoyable. It's one of the smoothest and easy drinking malt liquors around. I don't quite know what the ABV is. You can't really find out. There's guesstimations. It's probably around 5.9, but I've never. It's got a little malt liquor twang at the bottom, at the back end, but really, it's you can go toe to toe with pretty much all your mass-produced American beers, to tell you the truth. So, laissez les bon temps roulés. I'm glad I got it in the bottle this time. And I'm going to end this, and I'm going to give it a solid. I gotta give it a B+. It would go so well with like pizza, hot wings, you know, bar food, or if you have it a Monday night football viewing party, something like that. So it's perfect for those types of things. I'm eating the chips with it. So y'all come on down to New Orleans.